Hey everyone, so today we are going to be doing a pro standard tutorial on this type of card layout, obviously inspired by this one here. Some things are a little bit different as I do not have the code for the blinking text since the W3 schools links are down, but I'm pretty sure I found an alternative, so hopefully for upcoming tutorials the cards will be more similar to the reference cards. And then this here, I wasn't sure if this was a music player or just two images together, but I was playing around with it and I thought this music player looked really nice. You obviously don't have to do the music player, you can just put two images. But yeah, the general idea of the layout is still pretty much the same. And I'll talk about customizing the code a little bit later on in case you want to change things around to make it less similar or more similar to the reference card that I used. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so for the music player, there's two things you are probably going to want to change, and that's the color of the play button and this little sound icon, as well as the song itself. So I'm really quickly gonna go over how to do that. So to change the color, you're gonna find where it says color, and anything that isn't a 000 or FFF, which is black and white, you're gonna change. Like here, the original color is pink, and I want to make it blue, so I have my color code, and I'm just changing it as so. Okay, so I'm gonna do a voiceover now because I'm sure you could hear from the previous clip the wind noise, since I'm recording outside, is absolutely awful and it gets really bad here. So basically what I'm doing here is uploading my song link. So I'll leave a link in the description of what I use to download my songs. I upload them to Dropbox. I copy and paste the link, as you can see me doing here, and then paste it. Make sure when you paste it, it's in between the quotation marks, as you can see, and then I change www to DL, and at the very end I add .mp3. Alrighty, so really quickly for these texts, these obviously all correspond to what's in this container. The emoji font, basically each letter corresponds to a certain emoticon. So what I did, I just played around with different letters and published it until I found ones I liked. But you can obviously change it if you want to. Just make sure that whatever letter is capitalized and within the highlight, like so. And obviously you would change this text to be your info, and if you want more than just 3 sections, you would just create more of these texts, but then you would have to change it within the code. So this is the last text element we're going to add, which is text 10. So in the code you would go and find text 10, and these are all of the info text. So then you would, add a comma, hashtag text 11 or hashtag text 12. And then that's the same thing with the top texts, the title ones with the emojis. You would go in and add hashtag text 11, hashtag text 12, but then make sure you create another one of these. Like you would just copy this, paste it below, but then change text 5 to like text 11, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does, but that's what you do if you want more text. And then obviously if you just want 2 or you just want 1, you can just delete them, and then you don't have to change anything in the code, because since there's no text, it like won't do anything. Okay, another voiceover because of the wind. So what I'm explaining here is the customizable parts of the code. So firstly, for the Lin page text and the My Tunes text, you can obviously adjust the colors of the gradient if you want to do a different theme. And so if you look at the element IDs, that is going to be text 1 and text 3. So once you find that in the code, you are going to want to change the colors to your liking. So you can add more colors, delete colors, leave it as so, and just change them. And then you can also adjust the degree if you want. So like instead of 90 degrees, you could do 180 if you want the colors to be up and down instead of side to side. And then what I'm doing here is container 4 and container 5, which are the circle images positioned at the bottom right of the kind of laptop shape. So for this, if you want to make them bigger or smaller, obviously since it's a circle, whatever you make the width, you want to make the height the same. When making them bigger though, they do already look bigger on your mobile device, so you might have to add some media rule to adjust the positioning on mobile, which there is already a media rules section for a container in this code. So if you find that, you can kind of use it as a template if you are making the circles bigger. And if you're making them smaller, you shouldn't have to worry about that. But regardless of if you're making them bigger or smaller, you are most likely going to have to adjust the positioning. Since they're absolutely positioned, it's not going to stay in the same place when you're adjusting the size. So you might have to move it up or down, left or right. And I really just play around with the numbers until it is in the place that I want it to be in. Alrighty, so here is the final result. You can play around with like the paddings of the containers if you want them to be like bigger or smaller, yada yada yada. This is a very, I feel like, easy to customize Pro Standard card. And if you need any help, please just let me know. As usual, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.